G'day, I've been NotJah Witness here, and today we're going to go through some of the basics of Jehovah's Witnesses' preaching activities, their door-to-door and street preaching, which they call their kingdom ministry service. Now for this one, I asked a fellow former dove to give me a hand, Evelyn along. So without any further ado, I'll hand the reins over to Evelyn to introduce herself and take it away.
Hello, my name is Evelyn, and for those of you who don't know me, I am an ex-Jehovah's Witness and I'm an activist, and I have a YouTube channel and a blog. I also collaborate with other ex-Jehovah's Witness activists as well to highlight problems within the Jehovah's Witnesses and problems with Watchtower policy and the damage that it causes to members, current and ex-members of the organisation. Just to clarify, before you watch my videos, I am an agnostic atheist, so although I do quote the Bible, it is more as an intellectual exercise to show that the Watchtower organisation actually is more concerned with its own policies rather than what is written in the Bible. And they claim that their religion is based on the Bible, so it's actually quite interesting to see the contradictions and the differences between the two.
The Kingdom Ministry is one of the many names given to the preaching work done by Jehovah's Witnesses. They teach that they are following Jesus' example and those of first century Christians. One of the frequently asked questions on their website explains, Jesus told his followers to make disciples of people of all the nations. When he sent out his early disciples, Jesus directed them to go to the homes of the people. After Jesus' death, first century Christians continued to spread their message both publicly and from house to house. We follow the example of those early Christians and find that the door-to-door ministry is a good way to reach people. When I was a Jehovah's Witness, I saw the Kingdom Ministry, field service, or the work as it was referred to, as a form of holy service in worship of God. In reality, and looking back, I realised that the preaching work is nothing but a business strategy by a publishing corporation to recruit more publishers. Ironically, they don't even hide this term from Jehovah's Witnesses. Individuals who take part in the preaching work are actually called publishers. Because it is in reality a business strategy, this means that numbers, figures, statistics are all important to the Watchtower organisation. It may be thought that worship to God should be a joyous thing, that there should be no need to document every little thing that you do. In fact, the Bible says, "Take care not to practice your righteousness in front of men to be noticed by them, otherwise you will have no reward with your Father who is in the heavens." So why did I have to report every little thing? Why did I have to note down everything that I did? Jehovah's Witnesses not only have to report how much they preach, they are also taught to take note of every little detail of someone they are preaching to. The colour of their hair, how many children they have, are they sick, are they wearing religious jewellery such as a Star of David or a cross, are they unhappy about a particular issue in the world, do they have pets, do they have religious iconography showing somewhere in their house. You name it, we are taught to use these as hooks to interest people in the message that we preach as Jehovah's Witnesses. Young children are used in the preaching work and are very effective in breaking down barriers with householders who feel bad about slamming the door in a child's face. From a young age, we are taken out to preach the good news. I knew no different. I knew I was expected to enjoy it. I knew I would get praise if I did well. I knew what I would get disappointed looks and punishment if I didn't do well and would not be included in congregation activities. I left school at 16 like a good Jehovah's Witness with the plan to do what is known as pioneering. The preaching work is depressing at the best of times for ordinary publishers, but if you pioneered, it meant that you had to fulfil a certain monthly hourly quota. When I was a pioneer, it was 60 hours for an auxiliary pioneer and 90 for a regular pioneer. In addition to this voluntary work for which you get no remuneration, you had to support yourself financially. Now, I wasn't able to do manual labour like my mother had cleaning houses for many years in order to support her pioneering because I had a back injury. So I did a 3-month secretarial course in order to enable myself to get a part-time job that was less physically demanding for me, so I had more physical stamina in order to pioneer. The hours of walking, standing, knocking on doors is physically demanding. My back injury caused permanent damage, so it was very painful for me to walk and stand for long periods of time. But I felt I had to. I felt this was the only way to prove I was worthy of not dying in the worldwide genocide that Jehovah's Witnesses believe will happen shortly, called Armageddon. To be honest, I never felt good enough, and my eventual failed attempts at pioneering due to severe physical and mental health problems compounded this. There is no leeway for illness or disability for a Jehovah's Witness. You will just be stripped of your title of pioneer if you are ill or disabled and unable to complete your hourly quota. In addition to this, the stigma of failing is huge within the organisation. You are seen as spiritually weak, somehow failing as a Jehovah's Witness, even if it is through no fault of your own. It is an onerous task at the best of times, but with preaching the so-called good news treated as a business practice, no support for those who are ill or disabled, and perceived disgrace for those who are unable to continue, I fail to see how it meets any of the criteria of joyous holy service.
So thank you very much for watching my contribution to NotJah Witness's channel, and thank you NotJah Witness for asking me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Evelyn, for helping me take this topic on. I had every intention on adding my own 2 cents, but to be quite frank, you've done about as good a job as anyone could do. Make sure that you all go and check out her channel on YouTube, Evelyn and on Twitter, and hit that subscribe, follows, all the good things. Her links will be posted in the description below, as well as the little eye up there in the corner. So I've decided to try something new and steal something everybody else does, which is throw down a secret link in the description section for a smaller channel who I love and watch and I think could do with a bit more exposure. So make sure to let your curiosity get the better of you and go check them out too. So many thanks again to Eve for joining me. Make sure to leave any of your thoughts in the comments section below. If you agree, disagree, or wish to correct me, feel free. Plus, if you have any other topics you want me to cover or dig deeper into, leave your suggestions down there too. I am on the Facebook and the Twitter machine at NotJah Witness if you wanted to get in touch with me there. And if you'd like to see any more on the J-dubs or other religious beliefs, as I do what I can to expose and refute them where I can, hit that like button, please subscribe, and make sure to hit the bell. It's a huge help and it's always appreciated. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Thanks for watching, and remember, I'm your imaginary underworld apostate, NotJah Witness.